కౌశిక్. సారీ అండి. లేట్ అయింది. జాయిన్ అవ్వగలరా?
Yeah, yeah.
I started.
Okay.
No worries. No
Ah,
worries.
yes.
Yeah, take care. I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen, Kaushik?
Not yet.
Why then, let me reshare then. Stop.
Yeah. Looks like, yeah, it is good now. Yeah.
Okay. Is it fine now?
Yeah. I can see your screen.
Okay. And there is one more data type, which is known as a date data type. Okay. Once let me just check the ETL course content, what we discussed so far. I think this out of 6 pages, first page was done, and then second page. Today we'll be discussing the constraints part, and all the constraints we will discuss today. And if time permits, so operators also, that operators, but there is no hurry. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days I have given ideally, but it will take more than in the 5 days అవసరం లేదు. Then we are taking for 2 days, 2 to 3 days. Okay. Date functions are here. The another data type is what we are thinking it as a date. Okay. Float, envarchar, char, begin, and int, all these data types were done, right? What is the date
Yeah.
data type? We have discussed yesterday in our functionality data types until int, var, and this one, right? Char and envarchar. So the same one, let's see. For me, కొంచెం బ్లర్డ్ గా కనిపిస్తున్నాయి. పాతది పవర్ తేడా వచ్చింది.
Oh, okay.
I usually don't wear because it's only needed for me in front of system and trading. Okay. Yeah. So date data type, I think we already discussed that it is going to accept in DD, YYY format and basically. Okay.
No.
So
Okay.
whatever it is there, give me a minute. Okay. So the format, whatever we are giving it, right? So we need to give it in YYY format or YYY format. Okay. With slashes and the slashes or hyphens, anything it will accept with slash or hyphen, the date data type. Okay. So let's say we will take an example as SRC student ఉంది కదా మనకి. Let's start doing that. మనం నిన్న చేసింది ఇదేనా స్టూడెంట్ మార్క్ ఏనండి did we discuss student mark or did we select SRC
No, no. Started. Yes, no.
SRC study అనుకుంటున్నాను.
Yeah. Start with the SRC study. Nothing is there. SRC study లో మనం ట్రంకేట్ టేబుల్ చేస్తాం. Data types and all. Give me a minute, let me insert some data. Or let's go with the data of I think we all did all this కదండి 99 point ఇంకొకటి చేసాం. Insert scripts, let me open and let me insert some data. Right here. Okay, but why do we have SRC study? Did we truncate the table somewhere? Select star from float. Float అయిపోయాక మనం ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసింది ట్రంకేట్ చేసినట్టున్నాం అండి ఎక్కడైనా. ఉంది కదా ట్రంకేట్ చేయలేదు.
ట్రంకేట్ చేయలేదు.
ట్రంకేట్ చేస్తారేమో. ఓకే, మేబీ తెలియదు.
ఏంటండి?
ఏం లేదు, తెలీదు. అదే ట్రంకేట్ చేస్తారు.
చేశానా నాకు గుర్తులేదు, చేసినట్లు లేదు. ఐ థింక్ ఎస్టర్డే 425 కదా, అంటే నిన్న చేయలేదు. ఐ డోంట్ నో.
నిన్న కాదు, మొన్న. అది
నిన్న
క్లాస్
నిన్న క్లాస్ లేదు. Maybe I wanted to check something or then this got truncated. I don't know. Okay, let me insert some data and see. Insert scripts now. Data types, grant revoke insert later. I think somewhere I have saved it. The insert scripts and all, not another regular one. Create alternate group. ట్రంకేట్లో ఏమైనా చేస్తుంటాను పొరపాటున. Okay, let me insert some of the data. Okay, we will give insert and then update also we can give, and that's not a problem. Please. Error expected ఇస్తారు. Yeah, when we are inserting the data, we are inserting here with DDYYY. We have seen when we are giving 23rd, it is giving error, right? Data type. When we are actually giving the data type as date, right? This is the format we need to give it. Okay, because DDYY. So, or you can insert it as hyphen also instead of this, insert or update. Instead of hyphen, you can give a slash also only. This is also a valid one. Okay. You can just start inserting this data type. It gets inserted, right? Or this is an error one, even with your, because it shouldn't be DDMM format in SQL. So this will throw an error, which we have seen, right? Arithmetic expression, it is considering when you are giving the data type as, this one, conversion failed, character to string, it will be treated as character, and hence it will not be convert this into a data type date only. Okay. Now, if you are again trying to insert either, this is also valid format. What is that? DD, YYY with hyphen or slash is allowed. Or if you are inserting hyphen, YYYY, DD, this is also allowed. Insert or update. Okay. Or you can just give it as instead of hyphen, you can just give forward slash also. This is also allowed. Any formats in dates. If the data type is defined, then we will need to check in this format only. Either insert, update, or select when you are doing, we need to give in these formats only. Okay. So if let's just see what is there in select star from SRC stud. Here is the data 2024 12/1, 2024 1/23, 2024 hyphen. Even if you are given whichever format, it is going to store it in YYY MMDD format. Similarly, you can select also, like, you can use this update or select also you can do. Okay, update SRC underscore stud let DOJ equal to, what is that we have chosen? In the character, in single quotes, the format is MMDD2 3, say an example, 2024. Okay. Where DOJ is null and CGPA is also null. Then how many records it is going to update in the, or where its name is equal to Jesse? Any equal to criteria. Then the first record, it is going to update. Instead of null, it is going to update with 101, right?
Yeah.
Now let's see. It's the date format. We'll come back to date functions and cast and convert also more on date, because cast and convert are important. Those will be like, advanced SQL. That is more of important function. So let's start from the SRC underscore stud. It just got inserted. MMDD YYY format. So YYY MMDD. So if I want to select also one particular record where DOJ on data type, data type only, DOJ equal to, you need to give it in the similar format either. If you are giving it as 2-3-2024, that is also acceptable. The first record only gets displayed. Okay. Am I clear, Andy?
Yeah.
So SQL will write in the database in the format of YYY MMDD. But however, when we are giving, when user is giving in in MM/DD/YYY format, also it accepts with slash or hyphen.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is also fine, or you can just select it as 2024-2-3. This is also getting selected like that. Or this is the basic data type functionality I'm just telling. Or you can give it as what is the other format you can give? Okay. basic date. We'll come back to the date functions later also. There are a lot of date functions, inbuilt date functions like get date, today, okay, all these dates. We will usually use that. Get date is like, it is going to print today's date. It is going to give today's date. That is SQL built-in function.
Okay. Okay.
And cast and convert also. This is also acceptable. The other acceptable format is hyphen also. But whatever you are giving it as here, it is going to store it in YYY format only. Suppose
Okay.
there is one more important thing as date time. Whenever we are going with the date timestamp. If you see the timestamp also, okay, date and timestamp, which is nothing but here it stores in SQL YYMM DD hyphen HH colon colon seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
colon seconds with nanoseconds also. Okay. This will be the format. It is going to, but date and date time are two different data types only. Okay. If you have defined it as a date, two different data types. If you are defining it as a it has a date timestamp and you are simply inserting date value, still it allows. Okay. Simply inserting date values, still it allows. But what it will do? It is going to display HHMMSS as 0:00:00, something like that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And if let's see that also. And if we are actually, inserting the time, date and timestamp also, it is going to store that. If we are not inserting, we are simply inserting the date value, it will store it as a 0:00 and all. What am I going to do now? Let's mark down DBase is fine, right? Let's alter the table DOJ as date time. Or we can add it one more date of join is one. What is that? One more field we can add also with the date timestamp. Okay. Or we can just alter this field DOJ as date time. Okay. Alter table SRC stud, because this is only date value, right? SRC stud. Okay. Alter column DOJ date time. This is the command. Okay. See, there is no data integrity violation over here because date can be converted into date time. Okay.
Okay.
So that will internally, that will not be a problem. But how it is going to display now? It is like, YYY form HH colon colon SS. That, this is going to store it in 0:00
Yeah.
also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see now. See, 00:00 HHMMSS and then nanoseconds. Okay. Suppose if you want to update this null value, David value with appropriate timestamp also, still it allows in the same. So you can just update SRC stud student set DOJ date of join equal to, you are giving it as 2024 3/3 space. It's in 24 hours format and the railway time it will take. Suppose I'm taking HH, right? So it's hours are like 9 hours, 15 minutes, 20 seconds, something like this. Just updating where S name equal to David. This is also allowed.
Okay.
Okay. Now just check for David what is happening. Okay, 9:15, 20.
9:15, 20.
The date timestamp. If you're not giving anything, then it will take by default, even if it is a date timestamp also, it is going to accept update src start set doj equal to what is that? 3/5/2024, where let's name equal to Chetan. Okay. Now what it will populate? It is going to populate in the HS and the by format as
Yeah.
zeros. Okay.
Yeah.
Clear,
Yeah.
Andy? Like the date
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the time.
If మనము సెకండ్స్ పెట్టకుండా లైక్ 9:15 9 hours 15 minutes 20 seconds అని పెట్టాం కదా 9 hours 15 minutes అని మాత్రం కూడా అట్లా పెట్టచ్చా
9 hours 15 minutes వరకే పెట్టచ్చా అంటున్నారా వితౌట్ గివింగ్ ద సెకండ్స్?
అవునండి
నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు, ఒకసారి చెప్పరా? హలో కౌశిక్, కెన్ యూ హియర్ మీ?
యా ఓకే ఇప్పుడు సెకండ్స్ లేకుండా 9
Yeah, you can
time
put it.
మాత్రమే
The rest of the hours, what it is going to do? It is going to do
zero
it as a zero. Yeah. Let's see now. Let's update 00 కింద populate చేసేస్తుంది మనకి. Whatever you give HHMM, it is going to display in HHMM SS nanoseconds format. If it is date time, the rest of the hours it is going to populate it as a 000. If you are not giving,
ఓకే
but it will not. See 9:15 00 కదా, డేవిడ్ అప్డేట్ చేసాం. ఓకే, అండ్ ఇప్పుడు నాకు డేట్ టైం తీసుకున్నాను, బట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు డిస్ప్లే ఇట్ యాజ్ ఓన్లీ ద డేట్ వాల్యూ సమ్ టైమ్స్. దట్ ఆల్సో యూ కెన్ డూ. Those and all will come under the date functions. What you can do? You can say, so instead of select star from STUD, you want to display the date value, but internally in the database it stores like that. But for the display purpose, like for end user itself, you can just display select star S name date of DOJ, even if it is to date title. Okay, that will come as a client.
ఇది టైమ్ AM PM అట్లా ఉండదు కదండి జస్ట్
24 hours format అండి.
24 hours ఫార్మాట్ ఓకే
It is not, I think, yeah, here you can just cast it also. That cast functions we'll discuss later. And cast of DOJ as date. We will use cast is very important function, and cast and converts we will talk about. See, it is only for display purpose. Even it is storing it in the timestamp format also. When you are casting, right, you can cast it as a date only, is from date or date time to date. Okay, cast of what is the field DOJ as date and space DOJ, meaning this is for the heading purpose only. It will come. Cast and convert we will discuss more. Okay.
Okay.
So if you are just giving it as, only the values without casting, how it is going to display in the date timestamp format only. You want to display it to display only in the date format. To display in the date format, we'll use cast function. not only for date format only, for any kind of conversions that you want to display, like, character to date or date to character, everything, like, cast will be used. We will discuss cast more, and okay.
Okay.
Cast and
If
convert for the
మనకు
two important functions. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, tell me.
ఇఫ్ మనకు డేట్ అవసరం లేదు, ఓన్లీ టైం పెట్టుకోవాలంటే అట్లా కూడా పెట్టుకోవచ్చా? లేకపోతే డేట్ అండ్ టైం
You
అనేది
can just, okay, yeah, definitely. You are saying that, you want only the timestamp, right? Without date time. Then I
Yeah.
think we will have to convert into to time, to date, to char. Various time of print is the command that it is going to deliver a date. Print get date అన్నాం అనుకోండి, suppose today's time.
డిస్ప్లేలో కాదు,
Ah.
మనం లైక్ డిఓజిలో డేట్ అండ్ టైం అని ఇచ్చారు
Only
కదా, డేట్ టైం.
timestamp in SQL it is not there, but in advanced SQL, like, like cloud databases and all, the timestamp is there only. Definitely.
ఓకే.
There is only the time value that it is going to store, but in SQL it is not, along with the date. So, but that if you want to only extract the day time only, then you will have to go with the cast, or you will just, take that particular function. Okay. Cast or convert chestnut and this call. That convert function will do. Okay. But there is no only timestamp field in SQL Server. Something like, now advanced ones that it is there. Okay. But I'll double check and get back to you. And if it is an Oracle, I didn't remember exactly. నాకు తెలిసినందుకు SQL అయితే, like, there is no, I mean, you can basically display purpose, or you can extract that and write it in some databases by just, using that, to date, to char functions and all. There are different functions, built-in functions to cover, which we will be discussing it in cast and convert. Okay. But I'll check and let you know. But I don't think that, so far we can store internally. There is a built-in data type format is not there for time. Only to store timestamp. Along with the date, you can store.
Okay.
You are saying that only to store the timestamp, right? SQL function, it is not there. But
okay,
there is a way that, you can just extract it to _char, or we will have to convert this into char, and we will just read from there only. Okay, splitting this value. Okay.
Okay.
If you want. Okay. Okay. That is date and date time. Now let's go back to the constraints part. You're clear on this, then we will continue more on date functions only, and when this date functions topic comes. Okay.
Okay.
Right. There is an advanced functions. There are date functions also.
Okay.
Now, what do we mean by constraints, basically? What do we mean by constraints? Do you have any idea?
No.
Constraint, I mean, in general also, in English also, constraint is a kind of limitation. So why do we need these constraints? Why do we need these constraints at the database level? To maintain the data integrity. So data is a consistency, which is one of the characteristics of database management system. Okay. The constraints needs to be imposed to maintain the data integrity, meaning somewhere it is storing it as something, and again you wanted to store, then you cannot store it in the other way. Okay. So the constraints are to maintain basically the data integrity and uniformity of the database. Okay. So that is a constraint. 10 minutes after that. So what are the different types of constraints in DBMS? We do have, so the constraint is basically used to maintain the data integrity. What do we mean by data integrity? Why do we need to leave that, in this normalization and all that purposes and all? Because to avoid the redundancy, first of all, the constraints.
Mhm.
Okay. To maintain the data integrity. What do we mean by data integrity? Any clue? Data integrity means somewhere you are storing this value as student number as 101, right? Another way you are storing the value as 00101. Okay. This is all allowed in some semi-structured or unstructured data. When it comes to like, data lake or something, this is all allowed. But when we are storing it in a database management system, we are letting that, or some people like, they have stored it as 101 XXX 101. Okay. Different formats and all. But all the people are using this serial number in one table. If you are storing like, there is a serial number, one table, we are storing it, numeric format 101. Okay. I have a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and all. The same 101, someone is writing like, XXXX 101. Someone is writing in another, file system 000 101 or 0000101. Right? If it is in file system, where there are no constraints that are nothing is there is no uniformity, because this is all these represent to the same value, but it is not structurized, right? There is no integrity between the data. This record is in this kind of uniformity is not there, although the value represents the same. Okay. So constraints, what it will do basically, one way is our data type and all, they are structurizing the data. And also the constraints will help us to avoid data anomalies. Data anomalies. Suppose, what do we mean by data anomalies? You are a parent. This is much more important. This usually happens. This happened also because of that defect. No one was uncovered, but it was uncovered like, during the production, once it went into production. I mean, out of my experience and all we are saying, like, they find some orphan records. What do we mean by orphan records also will tell. In DBMS structure, orphan records are the scariest part. Meaning, you have a parent record like master table. So in master table, master or table or base tables. And there are derived tables also. Meaning, this is the master table. I'm creating the master data where that entire data, employee related information. Take an example of employee. All the employee related information is going to be stored. Okay. This employee information will be used across different tables as part of derived table. Say an example, your employee benefit program is there and your employee trainings is there in the organization itself. How many certifications he has done and all that stuff. Okay. So this employee master table, salary details, everything is stored, address and all. But I don't need all those details when I'm going with the derived functionality. Getting me, Andy? The derived functionality I don't need. I need only the employee number. Say an example with the reference of employee number. Okay. Employee benefits like, payslip is there. So in the master table, I have employee number, name, all demographic information. Say employee number, a name, and his date of birth, address, permanent address, all these details. Or is an active employee, date of birth, date of join, active or inactive, meaning date of resign also. Okay. So if it is null in the sense, date of resign is null in the sense, he is an active employee. I think that is my criteria. So this employee, I want to understand whenever at the end of the month, I will have to generate the pay slip. Then you will have to, because of the normalization and all, we are splitting it into multiple tables for ease of data access, right? So employee benefit, the pay slip when I'm generating, I use employee number and I do maintain number of leaves here. How many leaves he has taken, basic blah, 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 DA, TA, HRA, any deductions are there? Because the leaves, loss of pays and all deductions. and any bonus is there, bonus deduction. Okay. This is kind of, this table, payslip table is kind of dependent on the base table, employee. First of all, if the employee exists, then only I'm going to generate the payslip, right? If he is already resigned, he is not an active employee, then there is no point in generating the payslip. Correct? Agree with me?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Similarly, the
Yeah.
trainings and all that stuff also. If employee exists, then what are all the courses he completed, what are the certifications he attained and all, I'm going to complete it. Okay, training course completed, trainings achieved.
Okay.
Okay. So this is also, if the employee itself is not there, the parent record is not there, there is no point to generate the payslip, right? The dependent tables for these things. So these are known as, when we are maintaining these constraints, like, this is a kind of foreign key or it refers or primary key, we are putting some referential integrities and all that stuff, right? To avoid data anomalies, okay, with the employee number. So whenever I'm inserting any of the derived tables or the child tables, the employee number, I need to make sure that the table, the record exists in the base table and also he's an active employee. That is my criteria. Those kind of integrity, okay, you can impose them via constraints. Triggers is also, of course, one of the concepts to trigger that and all, but basically at the table level, we can impose the constraints. Clear, Andy, what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
It is not the ideal way to generate the payslip for the employee who has resigned or who do not exist at all, right? So how do we impose that? So we have different constraints over here, I think. Okay, I think mine, it is less than 1 minute. So this is kind of, referential integrity can be maintained. Triggers is also one of the part, but if triggers are every time, like, it is a programming thing that you have to write. So other than these constraints, if the data consistency or data uniformity or data integrity is not maintained through constraints, then we'll go for triggers. Triggers will not be discussing, and that will complete a kind of a database type. Stored procedures, triggers, and procedures will do. That's the TBS type. Okay.
Okay.
So when we maintain this differential integrity or even uniqueness also. Uniqueness. I want to see in SRC stud, there is no unique data. One student number is having the same student number is having for multiple students, which is not the ideal way, because it's now like 4 to 5 records or 6 to 10 records for me. Okay, 6 to 10 students for me. I can remember them by each and everyone with the name. But there is a chance that student number is the something like, the field that we are allocating to them. Okay. Something like your otherwise unique identifier Aadhaar card. There is a chance that multiple people will have the same name, right? Then how do you identify in the class with different, like, your roll number? If it goes for your class correction and all, which is a unique identifier. Okay. So I'm imposing at the database level, hey, when you are inserting or generating the unique identifier and inserting the student records, the past results and all, it should be a unique identifier. It could be your roll number, student number, whatever it is, it should be unique, because there are certain things that are not in your control. Marks can be same. Student names can be same. That you cannot change, right? Their surnames, first names could be same. Marks could be same. The grade and criteria could be same. Everything could be same. But what is that one field I'm assigning it to them is the roll number. So I am marking it as a unique identifier. It should be unique, so that in that way I can differentiate, okay, who got the highest marks, the ranking functions and all I can give. Okay, who got the less marks, even if it is same also, then they will go with the ACE criteria, which student belongs to what and all that kind of thing will happen, right? If 2 people will get that, same marks and all, then they go with the subject-wise marks, or they go back to the A's and they do assign.